Well, today on Green Goblin Garage, the part that I've been waiting for was supposed to come Friday, then it was supposed to be Wednesday, showed up on a Monday, and I actually have the day off from other things today. But last night I started just ripping apart the bench area here to try to clean it up. So now I got stuff all over everywhere. So this is the beginning of the shift motor video. So let me get this cleaned up for a minute, and we'll get that thing in there. I'll bring you guys down to see what it involves. It's the first time I've done this, but it should be pretty simple. Pop the thing off, a couple of 4 bolts, swap the sensor over. I think put a gear on the end of the thing and slap it in there. We'll figure it out together. How about that? So down in here, I got it all lit up. Before, I just kept pointing in this area. That's the shift motor assembly. There's 4 10mm bolts, and you're going to swap that shift sensor over to the new one. And you have it unplugged. So let's get this thing off real quick and compare it on the bench. Now that we got the old shift motor out, we're comparing it with the new one. So I stated before, this is the shift sensor. Hopefully that one still works. I do have another one over here. I don't know if it's the same part number. I'm gonna have to look at that with a magnifying glass, but that's a genuine Honda one. So if that doesn't work, we're gonna try this one first. And if that doesn't work, we'll try this. But as I stated, you do have to take that one gear right here and put it on that. I hope that's not too hard. I think it just pops off. One thing I wanted to make known is the bolt that goes down up under on the side the wire comes out, which would be the left side of the vehicle on this one, if you're standing there staring at it from the front, is a longer bolt than the other 3. So this one down here is longer. This one had the clip for the wire that went to here to keep it from getting tangled up and stuff, and then these 2 were shorter also. So remember, this one's longer, has this big, ooh, look at that. I don't have that sticking off of there. So maybe I pull that out, push that in there too. We'll see. That's why you always sit there and inspect parts. But yeah, other than that, it looks pretty similar, except for it's a lot cleaner. And it does have 30-something thousand miles on it. So let me get this taken apart over here and swap to this one, and then we'll get you back in there. And like I said, they are just 10mm. And then those are going to be Allen key on that. It's probably a 4, maybe 4.5. We'll find out. We one way to tell. I'll let you know when I take it apart. Well, we were able to get the gear just slides right off of there. It goes right onto there. I did take the time to look at teeth, make sure they're good, clean it up. And here's the location pin that was right there. It fits tighter in there than it does in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some grease, put it on my finger, rub it around it, put it in there, and then I'll hold it in there and get it located. I don't want to wrap tape or anything around it, maybe off-center it, this or that. This way it'll still center itself where it needs to be, as well as the grease will keep it sticking there. I will put just a little dab on here, just a dab, you know, don't go crazy, just enough. And then these were the 4mm. I have this on through that. So I was correcting my guess there, 4mm. We're going to put that on afterwards. It might seem like it'd be easier to do now, but where was that located? Because that spins in there, and I think I spun it when I was wiping it down. So it shouldn't be too much of a pain in the butt to put that in afterwards. And if not, I'll let you know. Then you'll know not to do that. All right, so let's get this thing back in here. Again, this bolt down here. This bolt down here, this is the locator one. This bolt down here is gonna, no, it's this one because I'm looking at it upside down. You guys don't trust me at all. No, yeah, it's this one here is the longer bolt. All right, and mine was actually gold versus silver on the other ones, so that could be another way to look at it. Anyway, let me get this back in here. I did verify the plugs are exactly the same. And yeah, we'll see what this thing does. I haven't started it since I put the new carb on it or adjusted it. And I'll tell you about how I adjust carburetors when I get there. All right. So we got the shift motor in there, basically finger tight. I did leave that one out so you can see the one I was talking about that's longer. It's on the foot brake side. So now we're gonna go get those in there and then put the shift sensor on and plug in some connectors and see what happens. I got my trusty 10. Yes, it is the gold-plated one. I don't want to hear it. I got it cheaper than I could get the other one on ITC deals, the plain one. But nothing's too good for this fine machine here. Fine machine. That's right, girl. I am noticing some oil coming out of the, looks like it's out of the bottom of the cylinder gasket there. So that might be something we need to address at some point. I mean, she does have 35, 40,000 miles on her. Ridden hard. I'm trying to get the video up of the day I picked this up. But, you know, you'll see how hard she was. So let's get this tightened down in there, plug in some connectors, and see if we can shift. I'm excited. Well, here we are. We'll find out if that thing works. But first, we gotta find out if she'll even start, because I changed the carburetor and haven't done anything as far as starting it since. The carb's never had gas in it. So let's turn the gas on. Like, I'm grabbing a hold of the pipes, you know, the head. She hasn't been running 3 weeks, probably 2.5 weeks. So most people would go ahead and fire it up and make sure it all works fine before they show the next video. No, I'm not that guy. I want to see you see a man struggle. So that way, if things don't go right for you the first time, that's normal. But we're going to see what happens here. I got to find the key. I took the key out of it so nobody accidentally started it while those parts were hanging off of it. And oh yeah, a couple of bumps of the throttle. Oh, she wants to run. See if we can dial this carb and let her warm up. Choke's off. She's all right. We'll let her warm up a little bit and we'll adjust it some more. Sounds pretty good. Kind of off rattling around in the background there. Look at that. This moment of truth here. And I might have to adjust the carb shift angle. We're going to go over that next. Alright. We'll bring you into that in just a second, because she ain't shifting yet. Nothing. Not a click. Alright. Back to the drawing board. We'll see what we're going to do here. So a man was looking at this, right? And see how there's a big slot on the tops and there's no slot on the bottom really? And then I come down here and the wires are reversed. So I got an idea. We're just gonna plug this one in here. That's the old one. We're gonna take that and jam those in those holes on the right wires and see if she shifts. So we got her fired up here. She's in neutral. All I do is plug that in. Put the right wires where it goes red, red, green, green. And lo and behold, new plug apart, swap red, green, green to red, you know, throw some, dang on, what do you call it? What's that stuff? That's the heat shrink and stuff on there? Yeah, we'll use that. And should be good to go. Like I said, it's always a struggle. Right? So we got her fired up here. She's in neutral. All I do is plug that in, put the right wires to where it goes red, red, green, green, and lo and behold, she shifts like a tree. So I'm going to take that new plug apart, swap red, green, green to red, you know, throw some, dang on, what do you call it? What's that stuff? That's the heat shrink and stuff on there? Yeah, we'll use that. And should be good to go. Like I said, it's always a struggle. Right? Alright, so after a couple minutes, fella did a thing on the thing. And we're gonna see if it still works how I was predicting it would work after swapping wires around the plugs. I just used the old plug because it already had it plugged in. Oh, like a dream. Look at that thing shit. You can't even see it shit. See that it's reverse. Reverse bang. We'll take her for a ride. This thing has got 41,000 something miles on it. And like something like 11,000 hours. Listen to this motor. Honda. She was ridden rough, boys. Ridden rough. Alright. Let me get the plastic back on her. Maybe I'll just jam the seat on her and take her for a ride. I'm going to put the plastic back on her. She ain't old Ashley here. She ain't had the plastic on her in about a month. So she deserves that. She deserves that. Unfortunately, we do not have the plastic here, nor there. We have like half the plastic there. That's going to be a whole nother episode of figuring out how to mount those to that without buying new ones. See that? Mount those to that without buying new ones. Sorry, I'm bad at the camera. I need a cameraman. All right, let's get the plastic back on here. Listen to that thing purr. Oh, I never even showed you how I do the carb adjustment. So what I do for carb adjustment, let me shut this thing off here. No bog, no dive, no backfire. So on the carb adjustment on these Hondas, all right, we'll pop this flap. There's this little knobby knob right there. So what I do when that's off, I'll set this by turning, there's a bolt there that goes to the throttle cable and a lock nut. I'll set that to where I have just a little place, so you know it never hangs up. And that's where I'll start. And then I'll fine tune it with the little knob down there. Once it's warmed up, do it right off the bat, it's gonna run like crap. Let her warm up and then you can fine tune it with that. Anyways, you got the plastics on here, we'll take it for a rip. All right, test ride time. We're gonna see how old Ashley runs with the new shifting and the new carb. And then we'll do something about the mud flap area here. Got a couple of different ideas, but we're gonna think about that for a little bit. All right, let's get to it. All right, we made it to the woods. We're gonna see how this thing shifts, cruise around a little bit, warm her up, make sure everything's all hunky-dory before we deal with the mud flaps. So there it goes. It's gonna be hard to film and drive at the same time, but we'll try. Oh shit, like a tree. There's third. Just putter around on her. Used to be she'd shift a little bit and then she wouldn't when she rode her hard, so. seems to be rolling pretty good. Turn this camera off and give her hell a little bit, and I'll report back. She's dialed in pretty good. She's dialed in pretty good. Shifts like a dream. Don't even feel it shift. She's quick. 500, man. That thing can get. So, yeah. Next is address these broken flaps here, because my wife rides this one. I think I gotta do a little bendy there. So yeah. On to the next video.